This looks like a cake, but it's actually ice cream. And best of all, you don't need an ice cream maker, an oven, or any cooking skills. Because if you make ice cream at home, two things happen. One, it turns out hard as a rock. And two, a sad fridge. Today, that ends. Cream, cheese, condensed milk. This isn't a recipe, it's a trick. And it's more addictive than it should be. My first trick is to grab the cream cheese, or spreadable cheese. And before starting the recipe, beat it a little bit. I use about 200 grams, or 1 cup. And I also add a splash of vanilla essence. If you're wondering why I beat it first, it's so it mixes better later and there are no lumps. And really, you'll save quite a bit of time. I'll leave it here since I'll use it in a moment, because now I'm going to whip the cream. First, let me show you the texture. It should look like this, smooth and without lumps. And then, half a liter of cream that we're going to whip. It's important to put it in the freezer for a few minutes first, so it's super cold. Very, very cold. Not just a little. Colder than a message from your ex. So we leave the half liter of cream in a large bowl. You can also chill it in the fridge for a bit. And you can use the same whisks as for the cheese, because since it's fatty, it will whip the same way, and it won't curdle. And also, you save yourself from having to clean them all at once. You're going to whisk until it starts getting creamy and is almost whipped. Don't make it too stiff, because you'll have to mix it more with the cheese. As you can see, I'm adding it once the texture is already creamy. This is what makes it not a regular ice cream. This creaminess is almost illegal. And I like to make the most of even the cream that sticks to the spatula. You just have to mix it a little more with the mixer. And if you do it with a fork or a whisk by hand, just a minute more of arm work. Once you see that both mixtures have combined, you can stop mixing. And don't worry, that happens quickly, almost as fast as I add this can of condensed milk. And this is the reason why it doesn't crystallize, and why you can't stop eating it. Don't even think about whipping it again. We already have the whipped cream, the cheese, and the condensed milk added. The only thing you have to do is stir it with gentle folding motions. And although at first you'll think this isn't mixing, you'll soon realize that you quickly get a homogeneous and very thick texture. Ideal for the perfect texture in ice cream. It needs to have body, but also its bubbles and smoothness, which we're going to transfer to a mold. In my case, one that's 22 centimeters in diameter, but you can use whichever you like. I have a silicone one, and it's going to work great for me, but it could be any type. If you want, you can line it with parchment paper and that's it. What I do, and it gives it a real cheesecake touch, is to add only part of the cream. Then I add a few drops of jam, and with a toothpick or a fork, we swirl them around, making a kind of mini marbling effect. It looks nice, and when you cut it, you'll notice that subtle flavor inside. It's wonderful. So, I highly recommend it to you. Add it in 3 batches, so you get 3 little layers inside, with a bit of jam. See how easy it is to make something delicious? Into something really next level. Ice cream or cake? Today I'm gonna cheat, because I'm turning this right here into an ice cream cake. This might seem totally optional. I'm gonna crush some cookies. You can use digestive Maria cookies, toasted cookies, whichever you want, as long as...
Trituren bien, porque en esta trituradora o picadora de alimentos voy a hacer
It's a cookie. If you want to do it and you don't have this little machine, that's not a problem either. Just put them in a plastic bag and crush them with a bottle or a rolling pin. All you need is to get cookie crumbs. Once you have it, you're going to moisten it, and ideally, you do that with butter. So fill a small cup about halfway with butter and heat it up so it becomes liquid. Do it however you want, but I use the microwave since it only takes a few seconds. Once you have it, you add it directly to the cookie crumbs without any complications and mix it until the color and texture change a bit. It should end up looking like wet sand. Even if you don't get the perfect texture, you could add a little bit of water or a few drops to achieve this texture, so that when you press it, it holds its shape and is still a little soft. We don't want something hard that compacts too much. We drop this cookie mixture directly onto the cake we prepared earlier and press it down a bit so it's flat and covered, as well as slightly compact. It's super easy with a spatula, but if you don't have one, you can also manage pretty well with the bottom of a spoon. This already looks expensive, and I haven't even put it in the freezer yet. Of course, like any good ice cream cake, it goes in the freezer, so it gets that ice cream texture. And now, the hard part, waiting. And the thing is, I don't know how to wait. I've always been terrible at it. Come on, it's already been 3 minutes. Okay, it's been 6 hours. And now, take it out of the mold, decorate it if you want with something, and enjoy because that's what's really important. By using a silicone mold, you can see that I prepared it so that when we flip it over, the cookie stays at the bottom. Ah, that looks great! This isn't normal. If you want to leave people speechless, a little more jam and some fruit on top will give it that real bakery touch. Leave a bit of white around the edge. It looks more professional. Do you like this finish? Look at this! It could fool anyone. And you know, the important thing about people and desserts is the same. What's inside? And we'll see if the inside of this dessert disappoints or makes you fall in love. What do you think? Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo! Okay, this is definitely dangerous. Because you stumble upon a piece, you bring it closer and serve yourself more. You just can't stop. And now tell me, is it ice cream or cake? Would you swap out the filling and the decoration for something else? And if you like refreshing recipes, let me know in the comments below. And this summer, I'll start researching and suggest lots of delicious ideas for you. This slice is for me.